viewers, I have a question for you. Do you believe in the Great Pumpkin? I don't. So yes, I will be talking about a childhood classic of mine, and that is, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Sorry, the light is like that. I'll put it on the screen right here, so if you don't really see it that well. And what I gotta say about this, it's just a childhood classic of mine. This came out in 1966, after the success of a Charlie Brown Christmas and Charlie Brown All-Stars, and this quickly became part of the top 3 classics. And do I agree? Yes I do. Let's do a brief synopsis on this classic. So the special starts off with Linus and Lucy going to the pumpkin patch to get a pumpkin. And they find the biggest pumpkin. Of course, Lucy being a freaking narcissist, of course she's gonna pick for that one. So they bring that pumpkin home, and Lucy begins to carve up, take the stuff out of the pumpkin to make a jack-o'-lantern. But Linus cries over because he thinks that the pumpkin's a real thing. As a child, I always thought that was actually the Great Pumpkin. And then after that, we get a pretty cool intro sequence. And then the next we see is Charlie Brown raking leaves and stuff like that, and Linus jumps into it. I mean, if you see a giant pile of leaves, yeah, you're definitely gonna feel like jumping in. And I could be wrong on this, but this was the first time on screen that we see the iconic, Lucy and Charlie Brown trying to kick the ball and stuff like that. And of course, Lucy pulls it over and Charlie Brown falls on his back and kills himself. Quote. I don't know why, but that's literally what it says in the special, so don't at me. And then after that, Linus writes to the Great Pumpkin, who apparently rises out of the pumpkin patch and flies through the air and gives presents to all the children of the world. Yeah, he's definitely crazy. I'm with the others on this. It's like I'm gonna join a freaking cult. That's literally what it looks like. But don't worry, we'll get more on that stuff later. So he sends the letter to the post office, or the mailbox, I would say. And Charlie Brown has been invited to a Halloween party. But of course, Lucy, being the mean one that she is, tells them that you got the wrong invitation. Of course, because being the Peanuts movie, or special, I would say, because he has to be depressed. So later on in the night, they get ready to put on their costumes and stuff like that to go, as they call it, tricks or treatsing. Was that what it really was called during the 60s? Please tell me in the comments. I don't know why. And then, I really like what Lucy says, that a person that should always choose a costume, which is a direct contact to their own personality. And she literally dresses up a witch because that's literally how mean-spirited she is. And yeah, I know I'm wearing a costume, but hey, a girl's gotta wear a spooky costume. A spooky girl right here. And after everyone gets gathered up, we meet the first incarnation of the World War I flying ace. And Lucy doesn't give a crap, and they go out to the pumpkin patch to, scold Linus for missing trick-or-treating. And this is where he tells Sally to come and join him to see the Great Pumpkin. At first she disagrees, but since she has a crush on him, she goes and joins the freaking cult. Ugh. Since she's young, we'll move on. They go tricks or treats and stuff like that, and while they were on the journey collecting candy, and poor Charlie Brown gets rocks. Seriously, if I ever got rocks, I would throw them at those people, because I don't want a rock, I want candy. So yeah, after that, they talk about, Charlie Brown tells one of the kids about the World War flying ace. And we get a pretty cool montage of Snoopy and stuff like that. I would say it's filler, but Honestly, it's fun filler with cool, interesting background. Snoopy like patrolling onto the quote-unquote enemy lines or trying to get out of there. But keep in mind, this is his fantasies, or one of his fantasies. So yeah, it, sorry, this just brings a lot of childhood memories for me. And then after that little story right there, they decide to go to the Halloween party. But before they do, they meet up with Sally and Linus, and being meanies because, I mean, hey, I don't really blame them because they're in a freaking cult that is a fictional character. So yeah, I mean, sure, you can believe in Santa Claus, but just don't believe in a figment of your imagination. I'm just giving a warning out to the kids. And then after they've been complete meanies to them, Sally stands up to them like that the Great Pumpkin will arrive, but we all know that no, that's not gonna happen. And at the party, Charlie Brown is just being a quote-unquote model for them because they need to put like stuff on the pumpkin, like to make a jack-o'-lantern. But they don't carve it up. They draw on it, and they draw it on Charlie Brown's head, and congratulates him for being quote a perfect model. And then we get another quick montage of Snoopy and stuff like that, and he meets up to the party, and Lucy barks for apples and stuff like that, and then Lucy discovers that Snoopy was in there. So yeah, if I ever saw like a dog inside there and quote-unquote kissed it, oh god, that would be so disgusting. And then after that, we get a quick little montage of Schroeder and Snoopy, stuff like that, like playing the piano and stuff like that, that classic. And then after that, Snoopy goes to the pumpkin patch, and we get one of my favorite scenes. Like, Sally is beginning to lose her patience and stuff like that, and Linus tries to assure her that the Great Pumpkin will come. And what did I realize as an animation problem that Sally's hand is blue? Like, what happened? Is she one of the Blue Men group? Is she one of them? Ugh. But don't worry, I forgive them. 1960s, this was cheap. Moving on. And then they hear something, and Linus believes it was the Great Pumpkin. But not realizing that it was Snoopy, he rises out of the pumpkin patch to reveal that it was a beagle. Or Snoopy, I would say. And of course, after that, seeing Snoopy, like, Sally finally, does an angry rant on Linus for not going trick-or-treating, but staying in a freaking cult for the Great Pumpkin. And just freaking rants at him. And finally, Linus admits that, yeah, I think I was kind of a bit hard, but I still believe in the Great Pumpkin. And then after that, they leave Linus there to stay out in the cold because he wants to wait for the Great Pumpkin. And this is one of the few times that, Lucy actually does something nice because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Linus still hasn't returned. So she decides to go out to get him. For a complete narcissist, she does care for her brother to some degree. And puts him back to bed. And then it finally ends with Linus going on an angry rant because he didn't get to see the Great Pumpkin. And he swears that next year the Great Pumpkin will appear. Which we all know that he's definitely not going to come because he doesn't exist. But don't worry, this is not the only time he believes in another figment of his imagination. Trust me. And that's the synopsis on It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Do I think it still stands even to this day? Yeah, of course. Because it just tells a really simple story, and that's what I like about Charlie Brown. So yeah, for next month, Ruby Fangirl will definitely get into those. Don't worry, it's a special month, but she'll explain more next month. Yep, and for next time I come here, things will be a little bit interesting. So, I will see you guys in the next video, and next time, believe what you believe, and don't believe in cults. I will see you next time.